Coach, what have you learned during your year away from the sidelines or even being around the Washington program in terms of different schemes or running a college football program in terms of some of the intricacies when it comes to recruiting or NIL or the day in, day out operations?
Yeah, well, first of all, learned it's a lot of fun being in the media. That's not bad. Spent a lot of time, as you said, around the Washington program. Coach Fish was, I was out there in the spring, training camp during the regular season, and, I saw a lot of what they did. And I think, Coach Fish runs a pro program, if you will, modeled after a pro program, and I think it's very similar to what my thoughts will be on that, and what Michael and I have talked about. So, and Michael worked with him out there as well too. So, I think that's definitely let's call it a template, but every situation's different. And, wouldn't be that exactly, but yeah. But being away from it has given me an opportunity to look. I never really watched college football much during the college season. I watched it very much in the spring, looking at draft prospects and so forth. So this year I had a much better chance to follow the college game, go to college games, see the college experience on campus, which I did that several times. It was awesome. Go to several high school games, which other than watch my kids play, it wasn't something that I had much of an opportunity to do. So I think I have a better overall perspective of just the game of football and certainly the fan interest in football. I think sometimes when you're just locked into coaching your team, you're not as aware of what the external excitement and energy and feelings are, and now that became much more evident to me. And I think it's great. It's most popular sport by far, and I can see why everybody's into it. The world just a lot of it, not all of it, a lot of it is revolves around football.
Folks, I've got 6 more written down, so don't raise your hand at this point. We'll see how we get through. Ross, then Caroline, Andrea, and Chris in the back. Go ahead, Ross.
Ross Martin, CBS Sports, 24/7 Sports, and the Big Hitters Only podcast. Did you talk to Coach Nick Saban, and if so, what questions did you have for him? What advice did you seek from him, and what kind of stuff did he tell you to get prepared for the college game?
Yeah, Coach Saban and I have a long friendship and relationship. I have all the respect in the world. Love Coach Saban. In all honesty, I would just keep our conversations private. I don't think, really those are to be shared publicly. I appreciate the question, but there's nobody I respect more than Coach Saban, and he's been a great friend for 40 years.
Right in front of you on the aisle, Coach. Caroline.
Caroline Wills from the Daily Tar Heel. First for Bill. You mentioned wanting UNC football to become a pro-like program. What are the first 2 steps of that? What are the points of emphasis for that? And then for Bubba, what was your first reaction when you heard that Bill was a candidate?
Coach?
Well, yes, in terms of when I say a pro program, I would say, through my experience, what we did in terms of training, developing players, running pro systems, pro techniques, so when the players leave here, this isn't going from the wishbone to a pro offense, that it will be, similar terminology, similar techniques and fundamentals, similar training, similar preparation techniques that have been very successful for me through the years that I know that other NFL teams are using. Whether other college teams are using them or not, I mean, some are, some aren't, but I just know that these will prepare the players for that. So I'm not, and then from the general manager, head coach model, again, it's a similar type of situation. We're evaluating high school kids and college transfer portal players. NFL teams are evaluating college players and NFL free agent players. So again, there are some similarities, that's all. I'm not saying it's identical.
In the back left, Andrea, then Chris.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. You mentioned that it had been a dream of yours to coach in college. The first part of the question is, when during this last year did you start thinking, yes, I definitely want to coach college? And then the second part is, Carolina hasn't won an ACC title since 1980. What during your conversations with the folks here gave you the hope, optimism, belief that you could get this program to winning championships again?
Well, the support from the chancellor, Bubba, board of trustees, the alumni, I mean, all the people I've talked to, there's tremendous support here. I believe we're going to run a good program and have a good team. So we'll see where all that goes. Yeah, look, we drafted LT in 1981 after the 1980 season, and we talked about all the success that they had, especially, defensively with, Buddy Curry and Donnell Thompson. I mean, all those guys. Paul Davis on the team, and those are great teams. So, ton of respect for what what's been done here at Carolina. It's certainly that 1980 team gave up 120 points on defense. I mean, it's pretty good, and half of them were at Oklahoma. So, other than that, really good. But well, I'm not making any predictions. I'm just saying I'm going to come in here and do the best I can with a great school. We're going to have a great program. We'll see where those results take us.